What up?
What up?
We are live, biatches.
That we are.
Yes. So, welcome into the live. I'm doing a lazy live today because I have not fully recovered physically from my investigation, my dual investigation this weekend. It was a pretty rough day yesterday physically for me. So, that's why you're not seeing my face because I'm in the dark.
Hey, I'm in the dark too,
Yeah,
so.
it is lights at midnight. Yeah, guys. So we're just going to be kind of hanging out for, I don't know how long, just however long this goes. Answering some questions, hanging out. I was going to talk a little bit about my investigation this weekend, which I will be doing on Wednesday. Of course, I'll be saving some things, but we've had some things happen. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm going to now log in from my phone because I'm sure I can pull
That's what I
comments
just
up.
did.
Yeah. So see if anybody. I see we got 4 people watching. Welcome in. I'm going to switch accounts and go into my Luminary Lunabeams account.
Hey, Just Rach. Welcome.
Hi, welcome in. Hello, Christy. Welcome. But yeah, guys, we're just going to be chilling out tonight. We really don't have anything formally planned. We knew we were going to go live when we decided because it's been about a month. We try to go live once a month. Hey, Wanderlust, what's up, girl? But yeah, I'm listening and cooking. That's right.
I just got done doing that.
I did not cook today. Everybody ate cold sandwiches and French fries from Sheets. So
Hey, if it works, it works.
yeah, this today, like I said, I'm still recovering. I finally got good sleep though.
That's
But
good.
yeah, it's been a wild one. So here's a thought. We can go ahead. We've got a few people in here that watch our content. What do y'all think about the content that we are producing now? What do you like better? Do you like the reaction videos or do you like the educational videos? Do you like a mix of both? Do you like none of it? Do you dislike the content? Let's see what we're saying. Just finished my daughter's pajama pants. I'm tired now. Oh, cool. We had orange chicken, crock pot cooking. Oh, yes.
Yeah. I made bok choy with potatoes and quinoa.
That sounds good. I've never had quinoa.
It's got a lot more protein than I thought it did, so
that's
fine.
Great. Yeah. So, guys, Emily, she has to be vegetarian.
Pescatarian.
Pescatarian, yes, that's correct.
Minus the dairy, because pescatarians can have dairy.
That's right. Not by choice.
No, because trust me, if I could eat some chicken wings and some ribs, you know I would.
Yeah,
Emily. I got a Wawa drink.
We don't have Wawas here. Oh God, guys, we're getting a Buc-ee's. We are getting a Buc-ee's. I think in 2026. Finally, it's going to be like an hour away from my house, but it's going to be off Interstate 40. So Just Rach said she likes a mix. Yeah, we do too. We would like to go to where we're doing one a month. The only reason we haven't done a reaction video, to be 100% honest, is I'm the one that cuts the clips. So, and Emily does the editing for Lights at Midnight. Very rarely do we ever switch jobs for that. So I have been so flapping busy between getting these paranormal investigations out, which let me just pause and say anybody that came and watched my latest paranormal investigation of the Trivet Clinic Center, thank you so much. The video is doing great, and we finally made it to one of our goals of 4,000 watch hours, and I'm only, I think, 111 subscribers away from being a full access creator on YouTube. Yay! Woo, confetti! Confetti. So, yep, we are excited. I am going to assign some moderators because me and Emily, I got somebody I'm going to make a moderator right now.
Yep, I'm on my account too, so if I need to moderate, I can.
Tid 4.
Yeah. I've been sick too. Like I had some stomach thing. I don't know if I'm saying it's the norovirus. But I've been puking my guts out for the entire week. Some here and there, it's like every other day or whatever, but I was not sleeping. I couldn't eat anything or keep anything down. But today, I finally feel actually better. So,
Yay. That's good. I'm glad. That shit sucks.
last night, I was like, uh-oh, because it felt like it was coming back. And I was like, not again.
Yeah. 100%. Are you on Lights at Midnight? Or are you on the Fine Art Medium viewing?
I think I'm as fine art medium, so I
Okay.
could help moderate.
Gotcha. I just went ahead and logged into Lights at Midnight. Makes it easier to do it this way. Welcome in, everybody. But yeah, we're super excited. Thank you for having us in. I'm glad Emily's feeling better because I had that, whatever it was. It wasn't neuro, but I had that happen right before Halloween. So I missed my cousin's Halloween party I wanted to go to and all kinds of stuff, but I made it trick or treating. So that's what matters, I guess.
Welcome, Hellcat.
Hello. So yeah, guys, back to the reason we haven't really, and we wanted to see what would happen too, because we got a little burnout on reactions. Because for those that have been with us since day one and knew us either prior to starting Lights at Midnight, we mainly focused on education. And that's why we created season one. We talk about this all the time, and we wanted to start offering more of that. It has hurt our channel. We don't obviously do this to get rich or anything. That's just how content creation is. We appreciate everybody's support that does support us in a financial way 100%. We do plan on, I say this, but like it's the time constraint thing as to why we haven't, because cutting clips requires me to sometimes spend 3 to 5 hours before I even record the video. Sometimes, because I like to make them worth it. I like to build the storyline. I like to make it make sense. So
Yeah.
that is
Plus,
kind of the dealio.
I feel too like I do it on my channel often that it might feel redundant to some people.
Yeah. So we definitely want to still continue to give you guys, things you like, but we also want to stick to our roots. Hello, the priestess. Welcome in. But yeah, guys, so we're just hanging out. If y'all have any paranormal or spiritual questions, like if you have a question about anything like that, anything we can offer advice on at any time, feel free to drop it into the chat. If you want to talk about a topic, we can do this live. We can talk about a topic. We're pretty much open tonight. If anybody wants to join us live, I have a link that I can figure out how to share it. I normally don't do this on my tablet. I'm on my tablet. I can figure out how to share it. Yep, I see the invite link. So if anybody wants to join us, you can join us voice. You can come on and tell a spooky story if you want. You do not have to use video. It can be audio only. You do have to have a StreamYard. Actually, I don't think you do. I don't think you have to have a StreamYard account to be invited on. You might, but it's free. So we are running obviously via StreamYard tonight. I can talk about a little bit about I can talk about the Tribit Clinic openly. I can talk a little bit about the investigations. I don't think Emily can talk about, I don't know. It's up to Emily what she can talk about, but I don't think Emily can divulge into her new project quite yet.
No, I mean, we had to do a rebrand. So I did make a post about that a few days ago, and the link is there. If you were a part of the Necrophase one, if you were still subscribed to that, you'll be subscribed to the brand change, because I didn't restart the channel. I just switched the name and email over. So that's still good. But as far as investigations, I cannot talk about that. But I will say it will be coming like late spring 2025. The way we want to do it is to get a few investigations under our belt. That way, when we post content, it'll be consistent.
Yeah. Completely understandable. 100%. Yeah, Hellcat. You can send them here if you like. And if we do have anybody pop on, we'll probably not like a strict time limit, but we'll probably, try to answer the questions and then allow if anybody else wants to come up. It's totally up to you on how you want to ask those questions, and then we can open up the floor to an invitee if anybody's willing shortly. As far as my other channel, Our Appalachian Nightmare, we did that dual investigation in Stokes County, North Carolina, which is where I suffered years of like a haunting. I ended up having, that's where I really got into the grit of the paranormal. It's where I got a lot of firsthand encounter experiences with not a lot of knowledge. It was crazy. Hello, Elijah.
I think I might, now that I have more equipment and stuff, I might do more mini.
Alicia, I'm sorry.
More mini investigations on my personal channel. Like, because near my house, there's a park and it's haunted because, I mean, I see the things there, but I think it would be cool to mix it up a bit.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, and we've been talking more about trying to go out to the Garnett House. It happened in last May. We're still working out some kinks. I'm waiting for some things to happen on my end for us to go. We've got to see if he still wants us to come out, because it's already been, that's not 8 months since I've spoke to him. But it's quite expensive to get there because I'm going to have to fly, because V does not have the time to get off work. You know,
you would fly. Oh, I know you hate flying.
I hate flying, and I'm planning on getting on a plane at least twice this year, possibly. So, yeah, not really. I know.
You know, I'm gonna just shout this out. I'm gonna create a post on my side at some point, but I have some few updates on my end too. Like, there's some new services I will be introducing, like in-person location cleansings up to a 50-mile radius from Collingdale, Pennsylvania, in any which direction, and then trauma healing guidance, all coming soon. I want to do more for people. I don't want to just talk and educate. Like, I love the education part, but I feel like I need to offer more to people. And I think I'm going to revise some of my paranormal help stuff. Not much in price changes, except for the paranormal help, where I probably will lean this way, where I'll offer 4 free paranormal help sessions per month, and I'll have people DM or email me if they are interested. But if you want to jump the line or want quicker help, or if the slots fill up for that month, then you would pay regular price. I just feel like I need to be doing more to help people. And now that I'm not like in that fight or flight mode where I need everything I can get in order to feed myself, because I didn't have the funds to barely, survive. I'm not in that mindset anymore, because I've had some luck on my end to where financially things are working out. So I want to be able to offer more to people.
Yeah. 100%. That's awesome. Looking forward to it. And there's some things me and Emily have been talking about too. Things that I've thought about for a long time, and switching up the way that I do offer paranormal guidance services in a different and more broader spectrum. I'll leave that there for now because it's still in the infancy phase. I think I wanted to relaunch all my services at the beginning of the year. It just wasn't possible. Too busy. Running 3 YouTube channels. Definitely need to get back and do a video for the Luminary Luna Beams this week. I'm finishing up my journals. I say journals. I have more journals to come. Definitely. They'll be paired with my classes. But I've got to finish my journal. It's almost done, like literally almost done, and finish up my class and go ahead and provide that class to those that have already paid. And I thank everybody that has for waiting for me, because my all those things, I don't even want to get into it. You already know. If you know, you know. Last year had a lot of family loss and things that I needed to mentally kind of recover from. But we back, baby.
Whoop, 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 whoop. Hey, we got our first question by Kays Lou. What would an aura look like if someone is apathetic? Would it be pure black? Well, I feel like there's many variables to this. How do you want to go about this question? Do you want me to answer my part, or do you want to
Go
just...
for it.
Okay. So, yeah, like I said, I think there's many different variables. I feel like it depends on why that person is apathetic. Is it something that they were born? Like, were they born that way? It's kind of where you lean towards the psychopath end of the spectrum. Or is it through trauma and just bad, like, life experiences that kind of, like, made them that way? So that could be a variable or two there. But I've seen some apathetic people with darker auras, like in the mucky brown, grays, muddy, yeah, dark, like dooky green color. Like, it depends. There's only one person that I seen in, like, person, physically in person. I was at a hotel once, and I was in the elevator with them going up to my hotel room, and there was this weird feeling, like that instinct of, oh no, this guy's like a serial killer kind of vibe. Like, I don't normally get that in person, but this person gave me that vibe, and his aura was pretty close to black.
Yeah. Yep. I can agree with that. I would say that most auras, I mean, if it's totally completely black, it's also could be tainted though. In my opinion, that's just from my experience. Could I be wrong on that? Yes. I mean, because it's just from my perspective. But it could be tainted by another energy.
I was just thinking that too. Like, if
Yeah.
there's any kind of influence.
Most of the time, if you're having issues like that, it'll be certain chakras too that'll be either sideways, backwards, or not, or blocked. I learned that from my Reiki healing friend. That's another thing. They're either going the right way, the wrong way, they're running sideways, or they're completely blocked. And that would be, if you are that type of person, you have to get to the root of the problem as to why that is happening and why you feel that way. That would be a mind, body, and spirit revamp. And you would want to start possibly with somebody that can do Reiki healing, that can help you release those blockages. Because 99.9% of the people that are born to this earth are born pure and are based on perspective. But there are dark souls and there are light souls. I've got a lot of great questions too. Thank y'all for putting them in the chat there.
I want to add too, like, so when it comes to our aura, we have many different layers to the aura too. So it also depends on the part and which layer it is too, because that can also indicate part of the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I would assume it would affect the heart chakra the most, based on the terminology used in that question. So your heart chakra is probably blocked because that's where you love from. You know, that's the center chakra too. That connects, the heart chakra connects earth to spirit chakras. Your earth chakras are the bottom three, your spirit chakras are the top three. Your heart chakra is the connecting point from earth to spirit. That says a lot. Okay. That says so much because your heart has to be open. Even though I've struggled with my heart chakra being blocked because of trauma, pain, people hurting me, you know, but it's different. Even if I have my friend, she's such a blessing. She's been such a blessing in my life. She helps me clear my chakras even after these places that I go, because I mean, when we do these paranormal investigations, I'm going in the trenches of sometimes darkness, you know, but that I'm built for that. And sometimes, you know, life experiences, like certain things will make you turn your chakras backwards. Does that mean you still can't connect to the divine? Absolutely not. She's told me my third eye chakra was so strong, her hands, when she was visioning, her hands got sucked through my freaking third eyeball. And she's told me she's seen like lightning in my third eye, which doesn't surprise me because sometimes that stuff's like lightning fast, instant seconds. It's like Google search, bam. Sometimes it's not though. I mean, it's just, you know, and that's for people that may be in this field of work, which leads us to our next question. What do you think was your biggest breakthrough along your psychic awakening? I'm no newbie. I'm on my 9th year into my awakening. My God spoke to me in 2019. That's awesome. Yeah, 2019 is kind of when I really realized that it really, not realized, I accepted the fact that there was something about me. I've had it my whole life. Um, the breakthrough, I could say two things. And I didn't understand why in 2019 in November, I was very drawn to my ex husband's grandmother's bedside as they were going to pull the plug. She ended up having some mysterious illness that ended up scarring her lungs, and making her very ill and could not breathe on her own. Little did we know at that time that was the big C. We all know what happened in 2020. So it was already present and out in the public. Um, I just felt this overwhelming need, and I was starting to really connect. I was in the process of developing Treasure Tree and Company, which is a jewelry business where I use stones and stuff. And through that creative process, well, I went back up, going through that process with my ex husband's grandmother, and this was after we even split up, but I just felt the need to be by her bed to hold her hand and help her transition to the other side, because I just knew, and I didn't realize it was my guides then. I knew something was there, but they said none of the people that are her blood are going to stay in that room and they'll help her cross. And lo and behold, the only two people that stayed was her daughter-in-law, and I was her granddaughter-in-law, basically. And we're not her blood, and all her blood couldn't watch her go through that process. And I stayed there with her, and I saw a big bunch of light once they pulled the plug. It took a little while, like less than an hour, but more than 30 minutes for her to finally cross. But when it was almost time, I went into like this meditative state, never let go of her hand, and I saw these beings come out of the light. There were significantly three of them. And I was like, I'm a death angel. What am I? I did not know what was going on. And I mean, it was just a revelation. And then after that, I'm like, okay, that's it. And I started looking and researching. I watched paranormal shows to get answers. You never get answers from regular paranormal shows ever. And, even with Our Appalachian Nightmare, again, I focus entertainment, education, enlightenment. That is the entertainment sector of what I offer. Education is generally lights at midnight, and enlightenment would be luminary luna beams, along with a little bit of course, education as well there. So, if you're watching a bunch of paranormal stuff, trying to figure stuff out, it's not the place to do it. It's honestly not. And that's what I had to realize. Secondly, I would think, and this was over a period of time, me actually validating the stuff that I got. The hugest turning point in my, because I mean, before you awaken, in my personal opinion, you go through that dark night of the soul. I was at rock bottom. I was hurting myself. I mean, not like self stuff, like just in general. In many ways, I was just keeping and holding myself back, and drinking, and just I was hurting myself, and I didn't realize it. I was just doing it to get away from pain, and a lot of that ended up coming to an end. And when I realized that I had a greater purpose to help people, and why was this stuff happening to me, my haunting came back from my ex-husband. His house ended up, he started having paranormal activity, and my kids were older, and I was a mother. I was a mother when it was still happening, but my kids were at least 10 years. My oldest was 10 years old or 11 years old. And I had to protect my family. So Mama Bear come out, and I started standing up for myself, and I said, no more. You will not hurt my family anymore. And I found my power that way. And then I ended up helping other people for free for 2 years behind the scenes before I ever put a YouTube video out, before I ever started the podcast. I was working behind the scenes on a one-on-one basis, putting stuff out there like, hey, I'll help you. People would just find me, because I'd be in forums, I'd be on YouTube channels and stuff, and I got validation. So once I started realizing the things that I was channeling were actually real and legit, that was probably a very multifaceted question, but that's pretty much how it was profound to me. And it's a good time to say awakenings continue to happen, because you have ebbs and flows of energy. So like I can go down that hill and even go into a lower vibration myself, like due to loss, for example, but I still was able to channel. It's just, it was different. It wasn't different for my client. It was different for me. I just had to continue to trust in spirit and know that they held me and, basically rode their wings while I healed too. And still while I helped heal others.
Mm-hmm. I would say, like, for me, it happened in stages because, like you said, I feel like you can have multiple, like, awakenings, but it's really, like, different stages as you go. Um, but I was experiencing things even before 2017 when I had that haunting at my parents' house that I didn't understand at the time what was going on. So, like, for example, I had visited my grandpa. uh I can't remember if I think I was in college or right before college, and he was in the hospital. And when I was there, I just got so sick. My dad had to take me back home, which in New Jersey was like a 2.5 hour drive, which I felt bad because I didn't want to leave. But I got so sick. But obviously now I know like that was the clairsentience. I was in like a hospice area where many people were passing. And if you're clairsentient, that can take a toll on your health. And at the time, I didn't understand, but I got so sick and I just knew something was wrong when I was there. And then a few days later, my grandpa passed away. And then I feel like that was like maybe the first time I was like, that's weird. And then, of course, 2017, 2018 is when I had that big haunting. And I kind of started my channel, I believe, in 2017, back when I was Lido Fine Art, my baby phase.
Yeah.
But I would just, for the most part, document my experiences while being haunted. I didn't really think I was much of a medium, if anything, just somebody with a haunting that I wanted to share my experiences. So for those who also had experiences, they didn't feel alone and that I could build a little community of support. And then as time progressed, I wanted to also help people and then have clients and things and help them run through like their haunting and see if we can come up with solutions. And I was doing a lot of that work for free for like 2 years too, just like you. And eventually, I think it was before I moved. I think that's when I met you, and we kind of learned off each other and grew. And then I think when I moved out of my parents' house, that's when I had another like big growth spurt spiritually. You helped me identify like where my strengths are and explain why or how I was perceiving information, which
Yes.
to me was very helpful and helped me like boost that um I guess awareness, but also like my own skills and things, which allowed me to help even more people. And then that's when I started like going full force with like my services and things and my channel content. But I mean, since then, I would say since 2020, I go through my ebbs and flows with like learning lessons and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. It was a trip because you know that's a service I still offer, and it's identifying your psychic gifts through astrology. And it can be very simple, but it gets a lot more. There's a lot more layers to it, for that. That's something that I don't have any certifications. I'm mostly there's a word for this that's totally slipped my mind.
Self-taught.
Yeah, but there's a fancier word for it, and I'm gonna have to put it in my memory bank. But basically, yes. So I've used experience based teaching. Um, the only thing that I have went to school for was that astrology, to learn how to do that. I learned it from a woman that had been teaching astrology since the year I was born in 1987. And it was the best thing ever. And now I use that because I focus more on intuitive development, spiritual guidance. And my quote is, intuitive development, spiritual guidance, unveiling the paranormal. That's
Mhm.
basically what I focus on and getting ready to do classes and stuff. And it goes into another question or another comment or question up here. It says, yeah, when I shut my, oh, wait a minute. We had one more question I'll get right back to, but it says, yeah, when I shut my eyes, I see violet light from my third eye chakra. Oh no, I went to Reiki schools and shaman schools. That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm getting ready to go down that path at some point myself. The priestess, I'm looking forward to it. And then I'm a daily meditator. That's great. Emily is too.
Mhm.
I'm bad at it, but I'm clairsentient, so things just like,
Yeah.
I need to meditate more. What is a light worker? So you have light workers and dark workers. Light workers are people that focus highly on using light and positivity. A lot of times light workers, they are there to help flush out negativity. And light workers they're light bringers. They bring light to the world in multiple ways. You do not have to be a psychic medium to be a light worker. Light workers are in everyday uniforms, performing everyday jobs. But light workers, they literally, use light to flush out darkness in the sense of energy. And we tend to shine a lot brighter. You also have people that are dark workers, but doesn't mean that they pull in darkness. There may be some people that classify themselves like that, but I almost technically could qualify for both if you go by definition of a light worker and dark worker. But dark workers, they work through shadow work.
Mm-hmm.
They help people through shadow work, and they can use what we would consider darker sometimes, not all the time, but can use darker deities and stuff like that to get that done. Sometimes they still do it with the most high energy, which people consider God or the God of your understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to check in a second, Hellcat, for those in just a sec. She's got some photos. I can't bring them up on the screen because I still don't pay for StreamYard. I don't use it enough to pay for it. Unfortunately, it's not expensive. It's $20 a month, but I'm pissed off right now. Rant. Okay. TikTok ban, cool, whatever. TikTok, though, I will say this. They don't meter our content. Other places, I can't say meter our content. TikTok does not meter your content, and a lot of times. And it's a place to grow. It's a space to grow. Converting TikTok to other platforms don't work all too well, though. But point is, CapCut went with TikTok. CapCut is how I edit because I film all the videos you see over on our Appalachian Nightmare is filmed either with a cell phone or a night vision camera from Amazon that costs like $50. Okay. That's what we use. And I use my phone. I don't have a laptop. I have a Chromebook, but it's not a proper laptop to edit on. And since CapCut's gone, I have no freaking, I have another editing app, but it cannot handle the amount of gigs that my videos end up pulling in. The input of gigs versus the output of gigs. So I'm really upset. Plus all the awesome features that CapCut has not come back. I need CapCut to be back in 2 weeks, or I don't know what I'm going to do about getting my next Our Appalachian Nightmare video out. So pretty bummed out right now about that.
Did you try the thing I sent you?
Not yet. I'm thinking about it, and I got to see if it'll even let me do 1.5 hour long video. Because the next video, I don't know how long the next video will be. The next video, by the way, I already made the announcement, is Madison Dry Goods. Just briefly, that'll be coming out 3 weeks from last Friday. I do have the date, but let me see. Madison Dry Goods, earliest release date would be the 31st of January, but it's more than likely going to be the 7th of February when y'all get to see Madison Dry Goods, which is featured in 28 Days Haunted. Me and Emily actually did a podcast about it 2 years ago, and there is some big announcements, because they're not my announcements, but there's some really big announcements about Madison Dry Goods. I think that'll be talked about Wednesday. So keep your ear to the ground if you're a fan of the paranormal content. Madison Dry Goods, we got some big things coming. All right, back to the regularly scheduled program. All right. We got baby steps. Yes, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Hellcat. I have a bit of a shocking revelation a week ago during a meeting with PHI, one of the paranormal teams I'm a part of, has a few connections with the initial evaluation you and Emily did over the phone. Cool. That's awesome. Very cool. I'd like to hear more about that, maybe in private. Preferably in private. Since we did all that, private. You want to learn how to tap into your gifts? Yeah, 100%. You probably have, Christy, listened to if you listen to episode, it's a series, it's Initiation into the Realm of the Spiritual Things, season 1, episode 1. there's a lot of information about psychic abilities and just divination and spiritual protection. We felt the need to start with spiritual protection. And then when I was researching to formulate those, that mini series, that's when I come to the realization that extrasensory perception is the clairs. Okay. All the clairs, there's not just four, you have clairflatulence.
Oh my God.
Clear smelling, and clear tasting, which is, what is that? It's
Gustance.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a gut. That's associated with your gut. That's how I try to remember them. But that's about all the clairs, and then psychic abilities is what comes from those clairs. So it is separate. So extrasensory perception is associated with your clair abilities. Once you know your clair abilities, you put them to use, you can identify what your specialty is. There's tons of psychic mediums out here now these days. Some people are misdiagnosed on what they are, and some people still are not quite sure. I don't have anybody's names to say or nothing like that, but what I'm saying is everybody does it differently. So some people focused strictly on communicating with past relatives. Some people, like me and Emily, focus on the paranormal. There's just multiple facets. Some people focus on healing. They're still psychic mediums, but they focus on healing and they use Reiki. Like, we all have a different place.
Welcome, icy dead people.
I like your name.
I love it. Yeah.
How do you know your third eye is open?
Well, I think it goes back to energy perception and perceiving things. Yeah. That makes sense. I mean, for me, I just had the validation to back up that the stuff that I was perceiving was legit. And I feel like that is a good way to know. I mean, having vivid experiences, whether they're astral realm experiences, dreams, if you're perceiving certain, depending on how you're, just perceiving different types of energies and then having that validation to go with it.
100%. So clairvoyancy is going to come in two different ways. You're going to see things with your eyeballs, or you're going to see things in your mind, or, well, technically, if you want to say three. Give me 1 second, Em.
Okay, I'll continue. Yeah, so you're going to see things either with your mind, you're going to see things with your eyeballs, and then, I mean, you can see things in the astral or dream realm of area, or whatever you want to call it. So for me, I'll just use myself as an example. I experience all three. Some people will experience just the dreaming aspect, or just the seeing it in your mind aspect. And like I said, there are those that can do all of that. But for me, at least, it's kind of on the rare side that I see things with my eyeballs. At least, I wouldn't say rare, but it's more like I'll see it more the other two ways versus my eyeballs, but it does happen.
Yeah, definitely. And it depends. Like, if I'm in a haunted place, my clairvoyancy, which is clear seeing with your eyes, third eye, or in like visions, basically that's what they come in the form of. My eyes pick up, my 3D eyes. They really enhance. Also, my clairsentience. Most of the time we have all four of the clairs. If you're a psychic medium, the difference between psychic and psychic medium is psychic mediums communicate with the spiritual world, positive or negative beings. Doesn't have to just be passed on relatives. A psychic is a person that can pull in information. So they're operating with a lot of the past work, or past, present, future. Okay. But they're not communicating with spirits. That's the difference between a psychic and a psychic medium. And the way that you know your third eye is open, you're going to have visions. You can have them in your dreams. It can be somewhat open, and you'll have premonitions. I would say that if your third eye is open and you're not getting visions during your waking hours, like fluently without meditation, or seeing things with your eyes without trying at all, then I would say that it's not necessarily not open, but it might not be as open as it could be. That's a rule of thumb, unless your specialty is just going into meditations and having visions and stuff. But for me, when I'm doing psychic mediumship work, let's say I'm connecting to a past relative or I'm connecting to a location, I will get mental pictures and psychic symbols, which is something y'all get to look forward to me teaching hopefully soon. Uh, wink, wink. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. I got some cool things coming with that and the four clairs. But anyways,
I
yeah,
wanted to I wanted to add too, like, sorry to cut you off.
you're good.
God damn it. Oh, I think
No, I
too.
can't remember either.
Well, I think too, the stipulations you put on yourself, which is something you taught me. So like for me, doing the blindfold stuff, I used to do that in the beginning a lot and kind of relied on it to where it kind of like suppressed the other ways in which I can receive information. But then Chastity made me do it for a while without the blindfold,
Yeah.
and now I can do it without the blindfold. But
Yes.
I just prefer, but I know I can do it without it. But also, like, some people like to be like, some people use trans mediumship as a way to get information, so that has to be like, or that has to do with going into a like a
Meditative. Yeah.
yeah, meditative state to
Yeah.
get their
Or they
information.
allow spirits to come into them.
Yeah,
It's not
which
my thing.
10 out of 10 do not recommend, but don't judge those who do, I guess.
No, not at all. That's the way they prefer to do it.
Yeah,
That's their business. It ain't ours.
exactly. If they want to do it and they feel comfortable, by all means, do you, boo. But okay, now I'm done.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess to finish off the part about if you're getting visions at night, like dreams that come true and stuff, that is a sign that you have that ability. Okay, that's a sign. And then, like, if you're more open to it, but you do have to remember, and we speak of these things because, again, we were born from the darkness with our abilities and what that means. It's not that I was born from a bad place. I experienced bad things to realize who I was. Some mediums do, some mediums don't. Some
Mhm.
people aren't meant to be mediums at all. Maybe you're just meant to be psychic. You have to be comfortable with the level that you're given within this life. Everybody has some type of clear ability. It's about uncovering it and figuring out exactly what you're meant to do with it. I have mentored many people that have gifts and they do not work particularly in this type of field because they're meant to be, let's say, they're meant to be a radiologist. They're meant to work in a hospital and help people on that front and have empathy and compassion and know the right things to say to these people. Let's say if you work in a hospice home, you can still have psychic or mediumship abilities. It can make it harder. I've actually had so many clients that work in the medical field. It is absolutely crazy. I've talked to brainwave specialists. I've talked to radiologists. I've even talked to therapists, counselors. I mean, you would be very surprised the type of people that reach out to us
Mhm.
for information. I've had very high profile YouTubers, TikToks. I've had people reach out to me about things and have some of my most profound experiences with people. And I'm not able to share who it was, but it's somebody people may or may not know that is not in this industry. So no guesses, please. But yes, you'd be very surprised who has what type of questions and or issues.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, on my end, I noticed a lot of doctors, people that are around death a lot,
Yeah.
um, uh, examiners that examine dead people, and police officers and EMTs.
Yeah.
So,
It's a lot of people like that. The priestess says that they said it was vertigo, but I was seeing swirling energy. Yeah. I mean, for me, vertigo does not um associate with that. I mean, we are firm believers in mental illnesses and medical diagnoses. We do not say, do I have my opinions about some of them, how they could be related to spirit, right? Because we are mind, body, spirit. We are not just one, we are all three, we are eternal. So yeah, I don't know. The swirling energies, that definitely that's very common for a Reiki healer to see something like that, or even a psychic or a psychic medium to see that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
I will say, like, using our experience, Chas, when we were in North Carolina in that hotel room, I feel like, so I experienced vertigo. I wouldn't say quite often, but enough. But like for me, the difference is vertigo, I don't see things. I don't see like spiritual things or energy things. Whereas, like, for example, in the hotel room, we were seeing the floor go like this, and we were seeing like the
Yeah.
different energy shifts. Whereas vertigo, you don't really see that. It's just you're dizzy. Yeah, the room might spin and go like this, but like, I don't know. There's the energy. You don't really see the energy shifts with the vertigo.
Yeah. 100%. And Care Bear, we're glad you're getting better from the flu. I'm behind. I'm on 908 and it's 917. So I'm scrolling up here. How do we know which clair ability is your dominant? Okay, let's see. All right, so I think that's the last question. Cool. So, do you want to talk about that, or you want me to talk about that?
I mean, I can try to give it a shot.
Go for it.
I mean, usually it's how you well, for me, it's how I perceive information or energy first. And a lot of times I'll feel it in my body before I notice anything, whether I see it with my mind's eye or any way else. So I usually will feel it first versus anything else. I don't know. I feel like too, when it comes to my clairsentience, I don't have to try. It just is constant all the time. Whereas like the
Yes.
clairvoyant part, I have to sit down. I have to get into the zone. I gotta meditate sometimes. I have to get into a headspace. Whereas clairsentience, it just is going on at all the time.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah, so I mean, it really, like Emily was saying, I agree with that. It's the one that you notice most predominantly. So you have to learn the clairs to know the difference between the clairs. Um, Again, that's, I mean, or you have to look at your astrology chart, and that's the easiest way to identify it. But you have to have somebody that knows about that and what they're doing, to be able to actually find it. Because you're looking at a bunch of geometrical patterns and lines and symbols that if you don't know what you're looking at, it don't make any sense. But yeah, so it's for me, like claircognizance was my strongest suit. So I always just knew things. So for example, 2016 to 2017, I was working in a brewery and I was bartending, and I would just, somebody would walk in the door, I would look at them, and I would know out of the list of 16 beers that we had on tap, which one they wanted. I would just know. And I knew that I could do it. So I did it for tips, right? So I would go ahead as soon as they got up to the bar. They might have a friend or two with them and they're talking and blah, blah, blah. And then they start looking at the menu. I'll walk over, pour the beer that I know. I would predict what beer they were going to drink. Pour the beer, go up. And they're like, yeah, I'll get a Snoop Dogg. And I pushed that beer towards them. I'm like, here's your Snoop Dogg. And they would go, oh, their jaw would drop. I get a good tip. So I'm looking at your picture now, by the way. Hellcat, I don't know if you're still in here. I'm gonna turn my camera on really fast to show you, Emily. I see it. It hopefully it shows on your end, but I see the face big time.
I see something, but it's hard.
I'll have to forward it to you on Messenger. Hold on.
Yeah. Let's see.
But yeah, so once you see it, that's the first thing that drew my attention.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. 100% a face. That's the kind of faces that we see either when we're dealing with when we have, so like for me, I mean, I know Emily does too, but I'm not going to speak for her. For me, when I see faces, sometimes they come to me clairvoyantly, and when I close my eyes, I'm in a full conscious state. My eyes are just closed and I'll see faces like this. And they'll come to me in like white, black, and gray, generally in the dark. So the way I can distinguish the difference, y'all might hear my dog bark for a few minutes because my 2 oldest children just come home. But here in the dark, it'll be in the dark and I'll see faces, but you can see this. There's a big teeth. There's eyeballs literally looking, big nose. The ears look displaced. It does not look good, whatever it is. It is
Yeah.
not good.
So the way you described it is exactly how I see it in my mind's eye. And I started being more vigilant. This is the one with the fire doll, but I started being more vigilant with drawing them to keep track. Yeah, because I can't show that one. This one will be out tomorrow at some point whenever I release. That was the one for the video I'm working on with Paranormal Nightmare. But you know what's interesting too? The face kind of looks like this, the one you just showed me.
It does.
But less nose.
You know what that reminds me of?
Do
you know where I'm going with this?
It looked, yeah.
Beth.
I was thinking that too.
It looks like Beth, my client, that I actually have her permission to share her story. I recorded an audio only version of her story.
Yeah.
But that looks elemental. It looks elemental, just like they called it a Bogart.
Yeah. Well, this thing, I'm still figuring out. I had to take 2 separate days to channel because the energy was not matching what I was seeing. And this thing would shapeshift into this thing with the armor. And it's giving very like trickstery vibes to make it seem worse than it is. And it does feel non-human, but I'm at the point where I don't know yet if I'm going to classify it as like a very low level demonic entity or a thought form type dealio or a trickster, but it's giving very trickstery vibes.
Yeah. I mean, I might be able to pull up that picture to show everybody else what I'm talking about. I think I have it. But yeah, whatever it is, definitely non-human.
Yeah.
And if it is human, it's lower descended human spirit.
Yeah.
I think we got another question. Let's see. YouTube save me. Facebook mess. I sent some. Oh, it's Hellcat. Okay, I got you.
Let's see.
Facebook mess. I sent some alt possibilities to share with the audience if it's appropriate. I don't mind sharing the creepiest experience at the end of the meeting, not sensitive or private. Okay, I will see 30-second clip of most of them are not dreams at night. It's during my washing dishes that I get it. So washing dishes is very interesting because that is like a meditation for some people. Some people meditate during the times that we clean. So it's when we're doing mindless acts. I know that, I mean, we're attentive to our dishes, right? But you're getting in a rhythm, in a mood. So you're making space for your mind to actually meditate while you're doing something. This is also like what I was talking about, Treasure Tree and Company, when I created that business that I run via pop-up, which I'm hoping to bring back to my website. Like, it's so much though, because everything's handmade, everything's unique, everything's different. It's just a lot for me personally. I need V to help me with it so bad. But that was my way of channeling. So I actually started channeling and getting divine messages through creativity and just mindless. I wasn't mindlessly doing things, but I was being, when I made like my little terrariums or made my resin pieces, they were giving me insight, and I started tapping in to spirit that way.
Well, in psychology, that's called flow. So when you get into that flow state, which creativity is a good way to do, it's actually a good thing for ADHD people. So to get your mind in that state. But that makes sense because you're like, your brain is constantly going. Yeah.
Icy done asked a big question that I could give an answer to, but I feel like I need a piece of paper and a pencil. So give me a second.
That's a complicated one. Let's see. Alicia Cruz, thank you. Yeah. Wow, amazing drawing, Emily. Thank you. Let's see. Just Rage. Those are creepy and well done. Thank you. I see dead people. You're not called the fine art medium for no reason, Em. Yep. Waiting for Chastity to get her pencil and paper. Let's see. Care Bear. My moon sign is in 12th house. I have always experienced visions in dreams. My dad, who passed, visited me in a dream to pick up my mother-in-law. The night she passed, I woke up and just knew. Wow.
So your moon in that 12th house is the reason you have all those dreams, because the 12th house is intuition, dreams, the subconscious, and your moon, the moon is representative of your intuition. It's ruled by the sign of Cancer, and it's ruled by the 4th house, which is one of the most psychic houses. So the fact that it's in the 12th house and your moon is there, my moon is also in the 12th house, and it is conjunct, meaning on top of Black Moon Lilith, which is one of the most powerful psychic placements you can have. And my North Node is on the 9th degree of Aries, and the Sabian symbol for that, which I've explained that on Luminary Luna Beams, means the crystal ball gazer. And your North Node is your destiny, your purpose in this life. So I was meant to do this. That's why I do it. But yes, that's why you have all of those psychic intuitions coming in. It's because of that 12th house placement. So that would be an example of what we would look into if anybody was to ooh.
That's the same thing. Yeah. You know what's really creepy is when I was meditating for this to see what the frick was going on here for that family, it dislocated its jaw to do that, to eat the negative energy outputs from the people. Like a snake. Like a snake.
Gross. That's a tongue twister. Ew. It's gross looking. It gives me the grossies. So it really boils down to, I see dead people. You know, that's the question we all ask. I don't know if I'm going to get anything on that, because it really just boils back down to opinion. And my opinion is from the creator itself, creator source energy. So any energy that is allowed, and this is what I'm getting, any energy that is allowed to come out into the universe and have some form of life into this particular universe, because there's multiple, okay? Anything that's allowed to come from that realm and to be, whether it's a bug or a human or anything, a planet, it all comes from source energy. It all comes from that place of light. You know, energy cannot be transferred or destroyed, but you do have soul eaters and you have soul collectors. I personally believe they're two different things. Soul eaters eat souls, and they still transform energy. So we're going from God to Satan in terms here. It's like, but for real, like soul eaters, they literally consume the soul, but they're transforming the energy into them. So, and then soul collectors actually collect the souls and use them to do bidding, while the soul eater eats it, gains the power, and does it itself. And it's just hanging around. Let's see. I'm intrigued about all this energy that doesn't want to cross over and just, so I'm going to give y'all something, you know, I'm going to talk more about this, but I'm going to give y'all something after. I haven't done a lot of paranormal investigating, like in person, but I have had a lot of paranormal experiences. And now that I've gone to several different places. I guess it's probably, I haven't counted, but it's at least 10 now. I'm noticing that a lot of it is like capsules in time. So for example, if y'all were to see, and I told Emily this today, if y'all on Patreon, I think it's available for level 2 and up on our Appalachian Nightmare, because I'm going to be putting my full channeling sessions there, because I don't have time to put them in the video, and people don't come there fully for just the channel parts, you know, and they can be long. But the things that I got about the Trivet Clinic, if you were to put the man's tour side by side with what I channeled in, everybody would call me a liar. Because I picked up on several things, And the way that I was able to get to this information is, one, I had been to the Trivet Clinic. I had stayed away from the information. The only thing I knew was it was a hospital, a nursing home, and I knew about the room in the basement. I could not stay away from that information, but that's all I knew. Um, and I still didn't realize it was a alcohol or recovery center either, and a supper club. Evidently, I looked that up, and maybe some people here know that, but a supper club is where you you go for supper and everybody gets together and has supper together. I don't know. It was something they did back in like the 50s. It was pretty cool though. Kind of wish we do that now. It sounds fun. There's just not enough, cool people. It feels like all the cool people are spread out these days. Can't find the coolness in your area.
Mm-hmm.
But the point of this is, when I did my channeling the day before I went to Trivet Clinic, it hit me pretty hard. I sat down, got my pen and paper, did my pre-channeling through automatic writing, and I was immediately greeted by this little girl. She was probably no more than 10 years old, between 8 and 10. She had like this white dress on and curly brown hair, and she had a bow in her hair. I'm seeing her now, actually. And we're standing outside the Trivet Clinic, and she runs up and she grabs my hand and she's like, hee 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 hee. And we're like running through the gardens. It was a pleasant experience. And all of a sudden, she brings me to a well behind the house. And we look down the well and she points to in the well. And I'm like, we got to go down the well. And this is where normally Chastity will stop. Okay. This is where I'm like, I ain't going no damn where you bitch, This is normally where Chastity stops. But Chastity decided to go down the well with the little girl. I was hearing the water drops and everything. It was a sensory experience. And it was all in color. So I felt more comfortable. We went down the well. Everything went back black. We come up. I know this sounds like crazy. Y'all gonna think I'm fucking nuts. We come back up through the well, and we are standing out in front of the Trivet Clinic. And I instinctively knew it was a different time in life, a different place. I was on what I refer to as a different page in the book. This is the dimension. This is my opinion. This is the dimension where these things lie. Okay. And that is where I was introduced to I think one of the first things I saw was farm accident, man dislocated jaw through teeth. That was one of the people that passed here. There was a little boy burn victim. That's all I got. I actually picked up on the black energy. I said, it's non-human. It's either a mix of a bunch of human emotions, or it's a human that's descended. I actually caught that on camera. I picked up on, so Majesty was evidently the little girl that grabbed me. I'm trying to think, there was so much more. The woman, the crying baby. I was told that there was a woman here. I saw her in her 1940s, like it was brownish or gray. It looked, I couldn't distinguish the colors, but if I pulled it up, like I need to somewhere put a picture, but there's just so much information. I can't release everything, that I get, honestly. It's just so much. But I mean, she just had this distinctive dress on and she was boohooing and crying, and the baby started crying, and I was told the baby had died. The story is the baby was fine. They took the baby away from her. She heard it crying and went crazy. Right after that, I said they sent people off to the psych ward or asylums. Well, maybe that was Spirit's way of saying she went crazy. So that's part of like determining what you're getting. Like there's a few other things, but it was like dead on. So and for me, giving you this explanation, energy exists in different dimensions and layers and realms. And once beings or creatures that come from the light are created, we are made within that image, and we are creators ourselves. That's why people have different experiences in these places. Some places I've been to feel like a haunted object. For example, St. Albans Asylum. I didn't feel many spirits were left there. It was almost like it was consumed by this energy, this shadow energy that created shadow figures that now inhabit that place. And even though I got stuff like, it felt more like a haunted object, and the source of where these dark beings from haunted objects come from, which will be discussed in my haunted object series whenever I get it done, because I've got big ideas and big hopes and dreams. It's just like, I don't know. And then some places I go, it just seems so residual. Like it's just residual energy. They are stuck in this dimension. They're there. And like, it's almost like the energy that they put into that place developed a thought form. And now this thought form is acting out a facet of them. This is why I'm doing this, because I want to learn more, to be able to teach more, to be able to put a perspective. What I say, speaking for myself, Emily probably will agree with this. My whole thing is to put out a perspective. I'm not saying this is right or wrong here. I'm just saying this is a perspective. This is what Spirit has given me. This is what I'm giving people. You can either vibe with it or you don't, and that's cool. But this is my opinion. And yeah, I'm done. I talked a lot.
Word.
Holler. Holler
Holla.
from bars. Ain't no stopping me.
Mm-hmm.
Rock-a-ta-ta, rock-a-ta-ta-ta. That was for somebody that's on here right now, and they'll probably laugh till they pee themselves right now, but you're welcome. Okay. Looks like Preacher from Poltergeist 2. That's not a bad reference there, Hellcat. I've seen the others. The others look like spiritual forms of energy, and I do see the face in the orb ball. I do see that. Let's see. Those are creepy and well done. Yeah, they were okay. I'm way behind. Mom Moon sign. Okay, that's cute. We're about. Oh yeah, me too. We love them. What? Butterfly in the sky.
Stop! I just got it out of my head.
I can go twice as high.
No.
Come on, take a look.
It's in a book.
Reading
Rainbow.
Boo. I had to go to the baritone. So many different levels. Yes. Yep. You're welcome.
Rainbow.
Tits.
Did anybody just hear my hip pop?
Yes. Old ass.
Did you
just had a birthday, you old ass. Done turned 32 and everything's popping.
Did you hear it metaphysically or physically?
Physically.
Oh, I can't do it again.
I thought it was in your chair. Don't. Damn, you might dislocate it.
It felt
No,
good, though.
for real though, my hips go in and out of being dislocated. So it's no fun. It is no fun. I'm crippled. There, I mean, not really, but really, like, I'm not trying to make y'all feel bad for me, but when I go out and do these videos, 8 times out of 10, my ass ain't walking the next day. And if I do get up and walk, it's minimal, and my back's like stuck because I have stage 3 degenerative disc. So what happens with your bones, and I mean, I'm just expressing this is part of my life, so y'all got to love me for who I am or just don't love me at all. But the point is, I literally, my back swells up to protect, or the bones and everything gets inflamed and swells up to protect those damaged bones from the degeneration. And so I get like stuck.
I feel you.
My good hand.
My good hip.
Yeah. But yeah, so I get stuck in all these positions and stuff. I mean, I'm not like, what is it like? Where
You're like Gumby.
Fall down the steps or nothing, but I'll like be curved to the side for a day, or I'm like, it's fine, whatever. And then it takes me like 24 to 48 hours to get over these investigations.
Technically, one of my physical therapy things is because my hips, so I can sit pretzel no problem. Like my hips go that way. I'm as flexible as you can be going that way, but going the opposite direction, I can't. So part of my physical therapy, like what I'm doing with my chair, is to make my hip go out to give it more flexibility. So if you see me doing this with my chair and you hear popping, that's my hip.
The chair don't pop. It's Emily's hip, guys.
It only pops when my chair pops when I hit the armrests, when it goes.
Mm-hmm. My good hand.
My good hand.
So yeah, it is my strong hand. I see. Yeah, he got it. So back in episode 3, I made an advertisement because I had, and it wasn't on video, it was on audio only, and I had one of those skeleton hands from the Dollar Tree that you serve things with for Halloween. It was made to be like but it was a skeleton arm with a hand, and I had 2 of them, and I found one of them, and I was just waving it back and forth because when I talk, I move my hands. I'm a hand talker. Like my hands are flailing right now. Yeah. So Emily sits very still and just very not me. I think I'm probably, what is it called? The diversion. What's it called, Emily? Where you get diverted your mind.
When you speak like an Italian?
No. It's something else that's popular right now. People keep talking about where you have divergence or something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm probably one of those people, not accepting it. Don't claim it. I don't claim that energy. Okay. But I gotta be moving. Okay. Maybe it ain't gotta be with my feet, but my hands and my mouth definitely will move.
It's
okay?
neurodivergent.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably have that more than likely. I don't even know if that fits, but I'm just talking out of my arse. But there, yeah, I said it. And the hand thing, I was sitting here during the episode, and that's where the whole good hand was born. So on that episode, you'll hear me reference the good hand. Let me see if I can find it.
You know what you do a lot when we record, especially on podcast episodes?
I know what I do, and it's aggravating, and I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm grabbing when I had my bracelets, I'd grab my wrist. So if y'all hear that, that's my hands. Sorry, I can't help it.
YouTube, save me. And would you be willing to create and commission a picture or drawing the entities you see, visuals, especially if requested by a client who wants portraits of what you've seen connected with their case? I already offer that as a service, so you have to just go on my website and book that. But yeah, I do offer that.
Now you're doing it. I want to get to it so bad because it was so freaking funny. I hope y'all find this funny because it was funny. It's just we posted a lot and since then, but I'm going to find it. We did a lot of Wizard of Oz stuff too, but that shit was badass. And that was before I even knew really what I was doing with editing. I was so proud of that. I don't care what nobody says.
We went on a Wizard of Oz tangent for like how many episodes?
5 weeks. It was a mini series, so it was it was the one about all the lower and higher vibrational beings.
That's right.
Yep.
Cracking.
Lord, where's it at? Where's the good hand?
I don't know. I used to find it. There was a point where I had something similar. It was my back scratcher, and I did a video of just messing with it because of my ADHD self, right?
Yeah.
And people got so upset about it. They were so upset.
I wish you would stop doing that.
They're like, this is so distracting. It's like, don't watch the video.
Okay, let me see. All right, hold on.
Listen with your ears and not your eyes.
And wants to know when Mr. Flappy Goodhand wants to know when episode 3 drops. I can't wait for my podcast debut. Let's see. Bummer. It's not out yet, but nice website. Check out all the places you can listen to the Lights at Midnight podcast. Maybe I will listen to part now while I wait. I bet TikTok has some updates. Bingo. Awkward comedy alert.
Anyways, weirdo. Future TikTok video though? Possibly. Are you just flopping that on? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, because she's just like this with it.
So okay, Flappy. Yeah, I was gonna say. Anyways, she called it my slappy.
Your flappy,
Mr. Slappy. So there was more to it than it made it hilarious. I thought it was funny, but yeah, that was birthed from episode 3 because she accused me of flapping with my good hand. But yeah, I did. I was proud of myself. That was in my very early days of putting out social media content. So that was my Mr. Good Hand moment. That was a couple years ago. We're coming on year 3 here.
Brittany, we still have our skeleton from Halloween riding in the truck.
Nice.
I've done that. I did that for a while. Like when I was still working at my old job, I had Ricky Bobby in my back, in the back trunk area, and he would have his face like looking out the back windshield, and everyone loved it. But now he's hanging in my witchy area. And he's just hanging there with a witch hat on, and I believe I have Michael Myers mask on top of him. So he is a yearly decoration.
Yep. Brittany, I didn't even see the damn thing in your truck this weekend. How did I miss a full ass skeleton in your truck, Brittany? That's what I want to know. So here's some bummer news I'm willing to share. We lost some of our footage from the basement, not all of it, but particularly on what V had rolling. He had his phone rolling for audio during the only portal box session we did the whole time we were there. And he's missing one of the files are corrupt, but we had 2 night vision cameras rolling. I have some footage off my phone. Luckily we have like 4 other points of views and really nice people that are willing to maybe help us out with that to some degree. But V heard this. I did not hear this. And I'm not saying it didn't happen, because a lot of times when you go back and you review the footage of these portal sessions and Necrophonic or SP7 or Spirit Box sessions through the radio, you have to go back and listen to them to discern what's being said. But he heard a spirit say that it was going to exonate one of my spawn. I have to be very careful with how I say it because I don't want my spawn to hear it. But in this particular spawn of mine and V's actually has been to this place before to watch the plays. So I haven't heard it, but I believe him. And I hope it didn't say that. And just so happens a lot of that footage from on our end is corrupted. I'll murder something. That'll go down like the Titanic, but faster.
That'll go down like you that dragon
like
into that portal.
Yeah. I'm sugar, spice, and everything. What did I say? I'm love and light and everything nice, but I'm sage and hood and wish a mother go would. I ain't playing, not with my babies. Good night, Icy. Sorry, I bit into a cookie. Good night. It's good to see you. Oh, okay, Brittany. You're going to have to talk for a second, Emily.
Okay. Good afternoon from Icy Dead People.
Yes, good afternoon. That's right.
Mm-hmm. It's 9:48 here and it's 17 degrees Fahrenheit.
It was 23 the last time I checked here. Me and Emily are 6.5 hours of drive time apart. 22.
Mm-hmm.
We generally have similar weather patterns, though.
Yeah, for sure.
It's weird, actually, to be a couple states. One small, one big state between us, but
I would think down there would be warmer, but guess not.
No, we have similar weather. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would appreciate that, Brittany, because at the very least, I may have to see if anybody would let us borrow some audio or something, because from some of that, and I wouldn't even use all of it. I just I'd really like to review it and see what's captured, because I'm totally bummed out about it. But we did 2 places. I did release something. Some of y'all may have seen it. Some of y'all may haven't. I'll go ahead, since we don't really have much to talk about. I might as well just show y'all this too. It was pretty damn cool. I'm gonna pause it.
Did he do what I suggested? With the 5?
Dang, Alexis. Yes, he said that wasn't the issue for some reason. I don't know. That's all he told me. He's a man of few words. Alexis is my sister. You know that already, though, Emily. She said it's 19 at her house, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is what we did capture at the courthouse. I had to release this because there's a lot more to it, though, but I'm going to whistle a tune, and I want you to finish it if you can. No, it wasn't. No, and it comes from over there. Y'all heard that? Thank you so much.
I heard it twice. Like I heard it
Yeah.
before you reacted, and then the big reaction one.
I did too, actually. And I will, all disclosure, the tiny little, like, there's like a constant, like, low, not, it's not constant, but it's happening frequently. Lower high pitched noise is the radiators, because we're in like 100-and-some-year-old prison. I mean, not prison, I'm sorry, prison's down the street, the jail. We're in a 100-and-some-year-old courthouse, and they still heat with radiators. But Emily, I did hear it too. It made it like before. And then it just come in so clear. The reason we prompted this is because we heard, me and somebody else, I can't remember who else heard it. Brittany, did you hear like the long whistling tune? Like it felt like it was coming from the hallway on the second floor, like through the doors we came through. Did you hear that too? Took the cookie out of my mouth. It's 40 degrees in Florida.
Yeah, they're getting the cold too. And I think they were calling for the first time for snow in the last, I don't know, was it 7 years or so, 10 years in North Florida?
Wow. Everybody's suffering down there. The state I've spent the most time in my life outside of North Carolina, where I live now, is Florida. Florida is like a second home to me because my grandmother lived down there in Fort Myers for a long time. In Fort Myers Beach, but that was back in the 90s.
Hey, Dead Serious. Welcome.
Yes, I'm glad you made it too. Good to be off of work. I did not hear the long whistle tune. It was probably the girl from Stokes County Paranormal that went with y'all to get the night vision. Okay. Yeah, because I was sitting in the, I want to call them pews, but they're benches. They're like pews in the courthouse. They actually moved a lot to the top, but, oh, the neighbor's dog. I hope y'all can't hear that. He's a little sumbitch. My neighbors, y'all. You want some tea? Y'all ready for some tea? All right, here's the tea. My neighbors, like, the dog's getting attacked. Hold on.
Well, ain't that something? Yeah, sometimes her neighbor lets their dog out, and then it causes a problem. But I'll let her tell the full story because it's not mine to tell. My chai tea is cold now. I'm not happy. I need more. But yeah, I noticed what do you want to call it? The polar burp, whatever we call that, is going down south to where I guess Florida is more affected. And some of the states in the Midwest are in the negatives. And recently I saw this video where this lady, she went into a gas station to get a bottle of water, right? And as she walks outside, you can see in real time, this is not fast forwarded, her bottle of water just freezes within like a minute. It's completely solid. I'm just like, I'm glad I don't live there. And for those of you that are watching this or in the chat that live there, I pray for your heat. I hope, you guys stay warm. I could not do that. It's that's too cold. I'm a tropical bitch.
I'm mad. I might have to mute again, but they leave their freaking dog out there on a leash. And they named their dog. We ended up getting a swing set for our kids. They get a swing set for theirs. Get a trampoline for our kids. They get a trampoline for theirs. They get a dog. My dog's named Onyx. They named their dog Onyx. Like, I don't know if it's not, I don't think it's the neighbors. Like, the neighbors are super cool, super sweet. I think it was their little girl. But this dog just goes out. They leave it out here in the middle of the freezing weather on a leash. It's a small dog. And I don't know if my dog went down there and just got into it with it or something else just got into it with it. But while I was going to give y'all the tea, this dog just went.
Yeah. Well, I know in Pennsylvania, there's a law where if it's a certain temperature, you can't leave it out for X amount of time. So if they do that, maybe look to see
I
Oh.
wouldn't do it because they don't leave it out for long. It's just to
Oh,
go to the
okay.
bathroom and stuff, and they bring it in. But they're leaving you're not, even in the county, you can't put your dog on a tether anymore, like at
Oh.
all. So, but I'm not that type of person because I've had people call on me about my dog getting loose. My dog now normally never goes out of the yard, but she's got some type of vendetta against this little dog, and I don't know why.
Well,
So they scrap.
Gotcha. I'm used to having to call because of where I worked. It was a lot of Amish people, and they do not take care of their animals, the ones that I've had to deal with. And it's not nice to the animal. It's animal abuse. And one family actually left their dog out in the well, it got cold, but they left their dog out and forgot about it. So you can only imagine what happened.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say what because we don't need to say that for YouTube, but you can picture what happened, and everyone's really upset about it, at least in that area, especially my old coworkers. But yeah, like there are just some people that don't care about animals, and that ain't gonna be me. Like I ain't gonna stand by and let anybody mess with or hurt or abuse any kind of animal. I don't care if you're Amish, whatever. Like no. So
Yeah. Yeah, it's not cool at all. And, and people get all up in arms about dogs because I used to own pit bulls, and they would bark at you. They would run up if you were on like the edge of our property. My dog would run up and bark at you, but she wouldn't bite. She would bark at you. She's a dog. This little dog out here barks at everybody all day long. But when they're a pit bull, they get a bad rap.
yeah.
Now, I have had a pit bull run away and like bark at people, and that's not okay. But we kept them in the house, and then the kids, they were tiny, and the dog would just bust by, and we don't have that dog anymore. But
It's one thing though if it's an accident. It's a one thing to do it on purpose.
yeah.
Alicia Cruz, how is Ghost your dog? He is having the time of his life because we have snow on the ground, and a husky and snow equals, what do you want to call it? Crackhead energy. So like he'll go in, put his face in the snow. It looks like he did some drugs, and he loves it.
That's cool.
He loves it. I want to get a sled for him to pull me on.
Let's see. I wanted to try something. See if it works.
Did
Can
you
y'all
find?
see a banner?
I was gonna say, did you find your flappy hand?
No, hell, I don't know where the hell that thing's at now. That was 17 years ago. She
What
got 3
banner?
kids. That shit's somewhere probably out in the dirt. I buried it. Yes. Christy, I think Christy's way behind. Let me let her know.
Yeah. You might have to, well, she can't see it now, but she'll have to scroll.
I'm putting it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love my pit bull. So my dog now is a pit bull, black German Shepherd. She's the best, most loyal dog. She just don't like little dogs. She just don't. I mean, she loves people. She just don't like little dogs, but big dogs she likes. But for some reason, I mean, even other animals, she loves the cat. She loves the cat. But this little dog, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they've like pissed each other off or something, but they just like to get into it.
Okay,
I don't know why.
But like Ghost is kind of racist to golden retrievers. I don't know why. I don't know why he like hates all golden retrievers. He likes everything else that's a dog. So maybe that dog pissed your dog off? I don't know.
Yeah. Because it costs, well, it too, we're always like, I'll be doing something like getting ready to edit or film or something, and this dog will start, they'll put it outside to go tiki or whatever, do its business, and it'll be like, and I'm like, shut up. And I'll be like, Onyx, shut up. And I'll be screaming at my dog to shut up barking. And then that dog, it'll like shut up for a second because then here's Onyx and then it can start. First world problems. I used to have more dogs, but I only have one dog and one cat, and they're both black kitty and a black doggy.
I want a black
The
doggy.
Yeah, the full Onyx is full. The mom was full blooded black pit bull, and the dad was full blooded black German shepherd. We call her a shepherd. But yeah, guys. Any more questions? Yep.
I keep seeing things out of the corner of my eyes. Now, typically when that happens, it's usually a spider, but I haven't found the spider yet.
Oh, Lord.
The other day, it happened towards my ring light, and I happened to catch it, and it was a big freaking spider on my ring light. But it disappeared.
You want to tell some stories about the spider experiences in your house, like real spiders?
Okay, so there's a joke between the two of us, which kind of like radiated to more than the two of us, to like all my other friends too, because every other day, it was every day for a very long time. But like I'm a spider attractor, whether it's astral or like physical, like real spider things. And like for a while, every day I was sending Chastity pictures of spiders that were in my house. They're always, when I'm taking a shower or bath, boom, a spider falls on my fucking head. Yeah, in my office, it's cold. Like bugs should be dead. Not here. Not here. So, how many times did I send you a message saying, Chastity, there's a spider in my bathtub?
I know. Yeah, she had one fall on her one time. It was freaking crazy.
It was more than one time, but the one time I'm doing my business in the bathroom and I go for the toilet paper, boom, spider. That is not where I want to see a spider. Okay?
No.
The amount of times where I've been sleeping and I just wake up because I feel like something's staring at me, and boom, spider on my pillow. That's where Morbius was born.
Yes, Morbius. Rach, I see an email from you that says I'll call here soon on Lights at Midnight. That's all, and I think that was the last time that we did a live. So there's no picture attached to it. So Rach, if you sent a picture, where did you send it?
Just Rach. I hate frogs, and there was a huge bullfrog in my mailbox. But frogs are life. I love frogs.
Now Emily will take it. Like you just put a couple holes in the box, make sure it's got food and water, like however those people send it. If you can get somebody to catch it, Emily will take it.
I will use my office as its home. It can catch all the spiders it wants. And I will name it Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. What you doing, Jeremiah?
Yes.
So does anybody want the opportunity? We're going to go ahead and close it out here very soon because we're coming up on the 2-hour mark. So we got 20 minutes. Okay, cool. Just Rach. Sounds good. I might be tripping, but I swear to God, there was no attachments to it. I just saw I'll call here soon. And that was the only message. I didn't see any attached messages. I could have overlooked it, but there was no attachments. Does anybody want the opportunity to join us live? And we'll say 5-minute maximum since we're going to wrap up here, pretty soon. And tell a spooky story. If nobody's interested, that's fine. We'll talk for a few more minutes and we're going to pop off here. I know there's a delay as well, so.
Yeah. We need a techno version.
Yeah. Oh my God. There was somebody else I was talking to in a chat. I think it was my buddies, my paranormal buddies. And I think it was. Or was it you, Emily, no, it wasn't. That they were like Jeopardy music. I said, yeah, techno Jeopardy. And I actually looked it up.
Wait, it exists?
Lena, you don't have to show your face if you're worried about that. You can turn off your face, and it will just be your voice. So no pressure, totally up to you. It would just be your voice. It'd be like having, what you have to do is pretend that this chat doesn't exist. Okay. I used to be shy too. You pretend the chat doesn't exist and you're just talking to me and Emily. But if not, we completely understand. You'll actually see what me and Emily see. You won't even see the comments if you join on StreamYard. Most of the time, if it's on a phone. And when you join StreamYard, guys, it's a link that'll take you. It'll ask you to copy the link and put it in your browser specifically sometimes. So you can press copy link and then go to Google or Safari and put the link up top. And then it'll give you, it don't go directly in. I have to bring you on. You would be backstage. And what happens is you're backstage, so you can set up your name and you can turn off your video. Okay, and you don't have to have that on, and you remain backstage until we're ready to pull you on. Tell spooky stories.
Spooky ookie.
Spooky dookie.
Spooky dookie.
Yes. I'm trying to think of one. I mean, all of my spooky stuff really happens now. I do have one I'd say. I'm pretty sure I've already said a lot of them, but I mean, there's something that happened. Yeah, just let me know, Lena. I'm going to go ahead and put the invite link. Oh, God. I about closed us out. I about dropped my tablet. I forgot I can touch all stuff.
While you're doing that, guys, I forgot to announce. So you know how I make incense? I will now be offering a spray version instead of the incense cones that you burn. I just have to update it on my website, but that'll be in with the updates.
Yay! Titties!
Yeah. Titties!
So I just dropped. Let me plug up my tablet because this heat's about to go dead. I just dropped the link in the chat that should be highlighted for YouTube users. And that's okay, Brittany girl. You get your bath time. Brittany is like you, Emily, with her baths.
Good.
Yes, she loves her bath times. She falls asleep in them too. She said, in a safe way. It's a small tub. She's not going to drown or nothing or anything. But Brittany loves her baths. I wish I took more baths. I've never taken a spiritual bath before, y'all. Dun, dun, dun.
I take 2-hour baths. I'm bad. Sometimes my husbando has to be like, hey, you alive in there?
Be like, nope.
Sometimes my husbando has to be like,
okay, yep. So it is. It's highlighted in there. So you should be able to click on this Linko. Yep.
And in the description.
Yep. So you will not be seen by me. You'll only be seen by me and probably Emily. I'm going to put the link there just so y'all see it. I might have to Tinko and a Minko. Pig Latin, I guess. Yeah.
Wait, I hope you guys don't hear me blowing my nose. I hit the mute button.
I didn't hear anything.
Okay, good. Because I asked a question and I was still on mute and you answered it. And I was like, wait a minute.
That totally slipped my mind. Not quite sure what happened there. Jumps time zones. Don't even remember what I said 5 seconds ago. But yeah, so spooky story while we're waiting. Oh, there she is. I'm gonna tell this really quick, Lena. Just it's super, super quick. That way I'll make sure you're 100% ready. After my ex-husband was found safely, went back up to his parents' house, and my youngest daughter said, Mom, Dad, I just heard Autumn, my oldest daughter's voice calling me from the woods, but Autumn was inside the house. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So basically I end up going in the car. We're literally leaving, and I look over, and as I look over and I point, I said, there it is. I could feel it. There it is. It blocked out an energy And just so you know, Lena, I can see you as long as you're okay with that. If you can always press that start cam button, just so you know. You're more than welcome to use video though. Just in case before I bring you on, because I'm almost done. And I pointed at it and it turned into like a gray block. And then in my vision, like I saw it with my eyes, and then in my vision it turned into like an old hag. And I had to like throw her into an energy ball, and it tried to like attack spiritually V pulling out of the driveway, and I made her stay on the property, and that was pretty creepy. So but all right, I see Lena has turned her camera off. Beautiful Miss Lena. I'm going to go ahead and bring her into the room. Let's see. How do I bring?
You turned that entity.
Bring her on.
I was going to say, you turned that entity into a basketball and went, yeet.
Yeah, I pretty much made her stay. See, add to stage. Here we go. All right. Welcome. And you might have to unmute yourself. Welcome, Lena. You there?
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Can you guys hear me?
100%.
Yep. Okay, cool. I have actually many stories.
Awesome. Yeah, and thanks for coming on. We appreciate you stepping out of your comfort zone and sharing your stories, because they can always potentially help somebody else. So thank you for doing this. Uh-oh, I think you might have muted again.
Okay.
Maybe.
So 4 years ago, I moved into my mother-in-law's house. Did I mute?
You're good. Oh.
We heard you say 4 years ago you moved into your mother-in-law's house, and then we heard like a zzz. So okay. You're good. We can hear you.
Okay, so the moment I moved in here,
oh no, I wonder if you're losing service, Lena, or something. Or something don't want you talking about. You're there? Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, let me check.
That's perfect. We can hear you now loud and clear.
Okay. So the moment I moved in here, I started feeling very like something was off. And prior to moving into this house, I was already meditating and connecting with my guides. So then I started seeing orbs in this house. At first, I thought it was one of my guides because it was like a white, I would see like a white fog. It looked like a fog.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Then little by little, I started feeling it touching me to the point to one night, it actually pulled my feet.
That's happened to me too.
So. As I looked towards my feet, I actually saw like this hag, like a witch looking hag.
Terrifying.
I remember yelling at her to get the F out of here.
Yeah.
So even though I was afraid, I was more angry than afraid that it was inside my room, you know?
Yeah, 100%. What happened, if you're comfortable sharing, what happened after she, after she manifested? what was some of the things that happened after you noticed her that kind of, or continued to happen after, if you're willing to share?
Okay, so after, as I yelled at it to leave, I had a vision in my mind's eye that she was in the backyard. So I figured, okay, she's gone. She's out of the house. But did I know that it was just a trick. She ended up coming back.
Oh no. Yeah, that's normally how they'll do a lot of times. And may I interject and just say, a lot of times when we try to push things out, you will see that if they don't get taken or crossed over into the light or taken by an ascended higher being, they will get further away from you. So you'll see them at the foot of your bed, and then you may see them away from your sleeping quarters, and then you may see them outside, and sometimes they can come back in. But please continue if you like.
Okay, so then that's when I reached out to you for help, remember? And you gave
Yes.
me some advice on what to do.
Yes, 100%. I didn't know if you wanted to mention that. So just for privacy reasons, I 100% do remember. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think we have a slight delay. That's why, if the guys in the chat, I think there's a delay between her hearing us and stuff.
Yeah,
So,
there's a delay.
yeah. So just bear with us. But yeah, it was absolutely terrifying. And if you would allow me to speak on one thing, just a point, the entity hung around. There was some trauma from the home. Um,
Mhm.
we figured that it was associated with the land as well. But you have good news, though, correct, about what happened to you?
Well, yeah, she, yeah, it was attached to me. She's no longer attached to me now, but she's
Awesome.
still in the house.
Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, we can definitely, if as long as that's great. If she's not attached to you and leeching off your energy, that's great. But it could go back to the toxic land situation, to for sure. And I know you were very adamant on following up with the advice and the things that you learned. And sometimes when we have something that's attached to the land, it's much harder to get rid of. But can I ask you this? Is she bothering you at all? Are you still having haunted experiences?
She hasn't been, yes, like she's not touching me anymore, but she's from far away looking at me.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. So that is what I was speaking of for those that may be listening. Like once you start, so you're on the verge of getting her gone. And this is a perfect example. Lena, I think we probably talked about 6 months ago.
Right.
Yep. And so it is a process, and sometimes it works really fast, sometimes it works slower than others. But that is a good sign that she's watching, but she's not able to touch you. And that's a sign that you've built up your spiritual defenses enough, and, being able to take it away. And Lena, you're always welcome to message me. I do my paranormal work for free, and maybe we can see. And even if Emily's up for giving you blessings and stuff, and trying to help get this being completely out of your life, that I would be very open to do that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
But I
Very.
really think she is attached to the land. Um, so we're looking into moving actually.
Yay! That's awesome. I really hope that y'all can.
Hmm.
And again, like, anything, is there any area specifically? I feel like I'm being divinely led to ask this, if you're comfortable saying it. Is there
Yes.
any, okay, is there any specific area that in the home that she stays in most of the time?
Yes, it's like the bathroom den area where she hangs out.
Okay.
The thing is that my daughter and I are highly psychic. So I have caught her looking at my daughter as well, but she won't go near her. Like she'll stand by the doorway looking inside the room.
I see her right now, Lena. I
Yeah,
see her right now. And she does have those piercing, is it yellow eyes?
yes.
Yeah, I see her looking at me right now because I just tapped back into your energy and what we talked about. Um, I'll do a blessing for you later. Okay. Do you have permission to do that for you?
Okay, thank you. Yes.
You're welcome. Yeah, I can definitely, the fact that I still see her and everything, it's just, I'm so happy to hear that and Lena's highly in tune. That's why she's able to still see this, guys. So it might not be the same thing for everyone, but this thing now is not attached to you, which I'm very happy about. But yeah, it's definitely something with the land and associated with it, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting situation and how this is attracted, and it's attracted to in my opinion, attracted to you guys because of your light. And the sooner the better that you can get away from that,
Mhm.
the better, basically. And highly would recommend you clear any of your belongings. Like, let's say you put them in a moving van or something, or your truck. You might even want to perform, a ritual with sage, not like a big ritual, but just a clearing session with the
Mhm.
stuff and say, you are not welcome to follow me. You will stay here. But I'm also visually seeing two shadow figures, but they're not like malevolent, holding this entity by her arms.
Yes.
So do you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I actually have seen her sitting on my couch with the big hellhound.
Okay. That's really interesting because I see two shadow figures locking arms on each side. So I'm wondering, now I normally wouldn't say this. This is just a thought. This is not, I'm not going to put money on this. But I'm wondering if the quote, I mean, I could be wrong if it's the hellhound versus what I'm seeing, but I'm wondering if that's what's keeping her back. It reminds me, I don't know why I want to say this, and I don't want people to get upset with me about this, but it's like the Hecate energy of
Mhm.
protection for
There's
whatever
also
reason.
a shapeshifter in here.
Wow. Yeah. Is the land that you live on more dry than green? Is it more, I think we talked about this, but I can't remember, but the land wise, I see more dirt than grass. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's very dry.
Okay. You're dealing with some type of ancient, potentially Native American entity too, I think. I don't know if and when I say native, it could be going way, way back, like way back. I think you're dealing with something that this land belongs to some type of being or
Mhm.
entity, and she's not the main one either. And I don't know specifically why she's there. But yeah, she's being locked by something. Something is holding her back, and it
I
could
see.
be. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like she's being detained. It's like a detainment. She's being held back, and it's not a bad thing. The shadow entities I don't think are bad. I can't see them because I'm not completely focused and tapped in to see exactly what they are. Because a lot of times I'll see things as like just shadows at first, and then I'm able to go further into it.
It kind of
Okay.
reminds me of this, like what I was seeing with the Skinwalker Island and this in Nevada area. It's like there are shadowy things pulling it back. So I see what you're saying, Chastity. Like, I'm seeing it too. And the things that are holding her back also feel Native American, if that makes sense.
Uh-huh. Like she belongs somewhere else
Yeah.
and she's not supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're guardian type something from a native land. And I don't
So
know if this. Oh, go ahead. I'm
when
sorry.
I was getting her removed from my energy, um, I did the ritual how you told me to do the whole candle and cleansing. I
Right.
literally saw like a white ball that pushed her off of me. So I
Oh,
think it was maybe one of my guides or a type of angel, I would think, because he was like snowy white.
wow. That's amazing. Yes, I could agree.
And then my daughter sees fairies. So I don't know if the fairies are helping her, like keeping her safe in a way, because she tells me she sees fairies.
Yeah. Emily, I'll let you, if you have any thoughts on that. Like, I'm getting that the energy that's protecting your daughter is presenting itself that way, so she's more comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, 100%. That's amazing you saw that. And um, we can definitely go back into this and do some more energy work. I do have an open case, but it's like coming, it's not that it's coming to an end, but I'm more open right now. And we can always, if you're concerned about the move and stuff, as long as you're not having any more negative things, if you can just see her looking at you and
Hmm.
that's it, was still not preferred. But if you're starting, if anything else pops up, you're always welcome to email me. So please do. That's crazy. That's wild. I'm talking about the ball that come and removed her from you, and something
Hmm.
is 100% holding her back now. So that is awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, things have been good. Things have been good. So I haven't been bothered no more. I just kind of know she's still around. I just wanted to share my story with you.
Absolutely. You're
Yes.
very kind for sharing it and stepping outside of your comfort zone and telling other people and, talking about this. We certainly appreciate it. 100%. I mean, yeah, I can validate for you that something is holding her back. She needs to go back from which she came, is the words I'm hearing.
Well, thank you.
You're very welcome, dear. Very welcome. But yeah, do you have any other questions you would like to ask here, particularly, or anything else you would like to share?
No, no. I just wanted to share that. Thank
All
you,
right.
though.
You're very welcome. And again, the door is always open for you, love. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye, bye, ladies.
Much love and light. That was awesome.
Crazy. Yeah, that is.
That was awesome. Thank you again, Lena. We love you, girl. Sorry for the delay, guys. That was for whatever reason. Sometimes StreamYard does that, and I don't know why. That's why there was a lot of silent parts if you come in late. She was having to wait to catch up to what we were saying, so there may have been, a little over talking, and we do apologize for that. But yeah, dead serious. You want to hop up here? You got something for us? Anybody else? We'll take one more link. We got the link above. I can put it in the chat again if you like, and we can do one more before we go because we have hit our 2-hour mark. I volunteered dead serious. I know you probably don't want to, but I was just saying, I don't know if you want to share anything. I think I don't know if Hellcat wanted to come up here, but I don't. She said something about the end of something, but I didn't quite understand
Mm-hmm.
the full thing. what she was saying. I thought she meant like after.
Yeah.
Don't start that. We're gonna all go to sleep now.
Sleepy, okay. And I'm cold.
Yeah, it is cold.
I was having the sweats, and then I got cold, and then I was having the sweats, and then I got cold, and now I'm on the cold end again.
Yeah, it sucks. We're just looking.
Menopause.
Yep, pre-menopause. It can start
Yeah.
anytime.
Yeah, but it starts for me early because I don't have a uterus.
Yep. I'm 30. I'll be 38 this year, so we'll see what happens.
Yo, I started noticing some gray hairs, and I'm like, bring it on. I want to be a Targaryen.
Got you, Lena. Yeah, I'm just so happy that it's not fully like attached to you anymore. And if it is just the fact that you can still see it is, you know where it's at. That's also an advantage too. But yeah, it definitely feels like it's being held back 100% by something. Something is there holding it back. But when you said staring, I went right back into it, and I was also drawn to that room that nobody uses anymore as well. She knows what I mean. I'm still drawn to that room. I don't know if it's the same now, but there's a room that we spoke of. Don't be sad, just rage. We age like a fine glass of wine, girl. I'm gonna tell you something I didn't realize as a woman in my younger years, and if there's any younger women listening, you think that you're ugly, or you too big or too small, or you just dislike yourself. You are beautiful, and as we age, even women, we get better with age a lot of the times. Like your beauty, everything, you get into your 30s and you really fully develop into womanhood, and women are beautiful. Men are too, but just to encourage my ladies out there, we're beautiful. I'm so glad, Lena. And that's what we do. We can't always, I wish that I had a button to press and make these things just disappear. And my goal is to continually learn more. And that's why I'm doing more of the paranormal stuff in person, and building my strengths on certain things to try to make that happen. At the end of the day, we all have a path that we have to go down. And sometimes it's still part of our life's purpose, as crazy as that sounds, but it makes us stronger. And we're so happy to hear, Lena, that things are better. The den is still okay. That makes sense. Yes. And Dead Serious says he has he'll just do audio at this time. Yes, Irish age slowly. Yes, girl. I found out I was Scottish. My mama's side of the family, Scottish, and then British for my dad's side, but we were Anglo-Saxons, and then of course Cherokee. All right. I know that's the only sucky part about getting older. I'm putting the link back in the chat for you, Dead Serious. You just gotta, when you come back or whatever to the backstage, I'll admit you then. It took a second when I pressed on Lena's. It gave it a few seconds before it let me bring her in. But yeah, the only problem I do not like about getting older is the pain. But a lot of times the diet as Americans are, I'm not going to talk politics, but one thing out of this that I do hope that happens is they actually redo our food system and the way and what is allowed in our food. I really hope that's the truth, and I really hope that it comes true. I'm actually looking forward to that, to see if they actually they ban a lot of the stuff. And I think the reason that we hurt so much, especially people from America, and we have more bodily problems, is because of what they've allowed to put in our food. So.
Yeah, I agree. My pain management doctor said that the grain in America is so full of chemicals, it's adding to the inflammation of people and causing a lot of issues.
100%. 100%. All right. I see Dead Serious popped up. Let me go ahead and add him to the stage. What's up, Dead Serious?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Is there any delay on your part?
So far, no delay. Can you hear me fine?
I can
Yeah.
hear you great.
Okay,
And guys, this
awesome.
is Duran. He was our very first podcast invitee. So back in season 1, episode 4 and 5 was Duran. Y'all may know him from that. Dead Serious Investigations. He does have a YouTube channel, guys. If you just type in Dead Serious Investigations, go give him a follow. He could probably tell you some things he's got going on. I'm gonna let him plug himself once he's done with his story. So what you got for us tonight, bud?
So tonight's going to be a little bit of a short story, but I think this one's an important one. I don't know if I've ever actually shared this with anyone on publicly. So I think that this would be a good time to share this. So um, before I even got into the paranormal field, I mean, yeah, I did like a lot of the studies for many years, almost basically like for 2 decades. I've been just researching, studying this type of phenomenon based on my personal experiences because I've had personal experiences since I was like 5, possibly even earlier than that. I have memory as far back as 2 years old, so um, I have really extensive long-term memory. Uh, but anyways, I'm gonna get right down into it. So I had this really, really elusive dream. And this is long before I even knew I was capable of astral projecting, and now it all makes sense. It was definitely an astral projection. Um, and this is like a year or two, I would say about 2 years before I got in the field. This is in 2019. So I had this lucid dream. I woke up in my room, in my bed. I had gotten up. There's no light except for this light that is um, basically at about I would say 8 to 12 feet distance, but the light is coming from nowhere, but it's really dim. And this happens with me a lot. Usually when I astral project, there's like this light that is emanating from like nowhere, but it seems like it's coming from myself. And how I take it is that it's the light from my aura that's giving me the light in this dark place that's kind of in this invisible space that I'm traveling in.
Yeah.
And so everything looked almost exact in my room. It just, the material items were like much less than what should be there. Everything was very bare. So a lot of material items weren't existent in this space. But I walked out of bed, and by the way, this light, how to explain it, it was it almost resembled a moonlight, if that makes sense. And that's how dim the light was.
Wow.
So I'm walking through the hall. I make a right, like right when you get out of my room, the hallway is like an L. I make a right in my hallway towards the kitchen, and I'm being drawn over this to the kitchen area. And by the way, this is I'm gonna remind everybody again. This is before I knew anything about astral projecting or anything like that. And I'm being guided, but I'm consciously aware of what I'm doing. But I felt the urge and need to go to the kitchen for some reason. But when I went to the kitchen, I smelled like an odor, and this odor, it smelled like garbage. It smelled like sour, like sulfur and sewer. It just like all sorts of bad tainted smells started emerging, and it was really fucking strong. Excuse my language. Really,
Oh,
really
good.
strong. Um, and oh my God, the first thing I saw when I looked over in the kitchen was my garbage can wide open. There was garbage all over the ground, and there was this there was this entity eating the garbage, and he had really long arms. So basically, Chas, you would know what I'm talking about when I'm about to say this, and you as well, Emily. I'm pretty sure you would know when I say this. Uh, do you guys remember an old post that I had um, of a memory sketch of this long, slender, like creature with these little red eyes, and it's got this little pinhead type head,
I think so.
like a slender demon, like a sleep paralysis demon.
Oh yeah.
This entity, I feel like was a runoff from my childhood home, and it was something that had not been properly cleared off me. And again, like I was saying, this is before my spiritual awakening, before getting in the field, and I think this was some type of runoff. And I was seeing this thing, and it was eating my kitchen garbage, and it was like all of it, and I could see clumps of the garbage going down this thing's throat, and you could
Ooh.
see the lumps like working its way down the throat, and it had that small little pinhead and this slender body with super long arms, like much longer, like twice the length of our legs and twice the length of our arms, and but it had this really small head, and then it spoke to me because I asked, "Who are you?" And it said, "I'm your anger, I'm your hatred." And something else, I can't remember what it said, the
Oh
last
my
bits,
god.
but those are basically what I was hearing. And then I woke up.
Oh my
And
god.
yeah, so this to me now it all makes sense to me, but how it makes sense is this thing was something that this was a parasite that followed me from my childhood home because I've seen this creature before. It seemed very familiar to me, but it didn't hit me until after the experience that I've encountered this entity before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and it affected me throughout a long period of my life. And yeah, that's basically the information that kind of carried on with me a little after that and started making more sense.
Absolutely. When you said that, you've told me a story similar to this, or maybe you told me personally one time, I think. And
Mm.
I do remember this now. And what struck me when I said, "Oh my God," because when I was working a client case.
Mhm,
It wasn't a public case, I don't believe, but
mhm,
I was shown some things. I've actually spoke about this where it started showing me who it was. So when I've talked to darker things when I'm working these cases, I've had something actually speak to me just like that. And it said,
mhm.
"I am death, I am war, I am
Yep.
destruction." And
Mhm.
that's how you know
Trust.
they're more very malevolent, very dark, focused
Oh,
only
yep.
on eating and consuming human
Mhm.
emotions. So I've
Yep.
actually experienced that. And then it showed me like a land of war and destruction and stuff.
Mm.
And I had to take that image I balled in my mind and like visualize balling it up and burning it. And that's how I had to sever the connection with that entity
Oh, yeah.
because it was
Yeah.
somebody else's.
Yeah, and I think that Pam Pam the doll understands who this entity is, and I don't think that the entity's involved anymore. I think that entity's been burned off a long time ago with all my cleansing practices, but I think Pam has learned how to perfectly imitate it,
Right.
if that makes
Right.
sense, because I've mapped out that same entity on my SLS multiple
No
times,
shit.
and there it seems to be right by Pam mostly. But I've only started ownership of Pam since I've owned Pam since 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
I'll say
And for
2019.
those
So,
that don't know, Duran is a haunted objects collector. So I have worked with him. Like I had a client that had a horrible haunting that will be coming to. Honestly, now that I've almost reached creator status, I'm going to put it on our Appalachian Nightmare. I think it's more appropriate there. But I'm going to do that haunted object series slash documentary. Still planning it out. And yeah, he collects haunted objects, and I have sent him a doll before, and I trust him to be able to take care of it. And
mhm.
because not everybody can own haunted objects, but that is like his research is based on that and other things as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh
And
yeah.
do you want to plug kind of what's to come for your channel and plug your socials and stuff?
Yeah. So I got I got another live shoot coming up real soon. So you definitely want to stay tuned on my YouTube channel. And I got a whole bunch of stuff on there. It's kind of scattered around a little bit, but I've just recently actually just set up some playlists to make it more easy for people to kind of pop in whatever categories they want to, you know, what they're intrigued into as far as like topics go, or like what series that I'm currently working on or in the past was working on. You can find me on YouTube, Dead Serious Investigations. Make sure you get the S at the end. Um, Also on Instagram, you could find me on Instagram. Same thing, Dead Serious Investigation, but add the underscore in between each word for
Okay.
Instagram.
Perfect.
I got two big series of podcasts that I do work with. My own podcast, which is DSI Podcast. That's my primary podcast. And I got a podcast I collaborate with Melinda the Mystic Witch, which is the Dead series. So you can find that both on my platform and her platform. And my investigation series, which is kind of, it's been postponed for quite a bit, some time because of computer issues, but all that stuff is hopefully going to be, um, you know, accumulated the way I need it this year to get that kicked off, so I could get everybody into the investigations that I've been working on all these years. So I
Yeah.
got a whole ton of that. So
Yeah. We're excited to see and excited to collab and all those fun things. Got a lot of cool things coming and a lot of cool things to go check out. I did because it's the easiest access I have. I did put your YouTube channel in the chat here for those that may be interested that don't follow you already.
oh, thank
Um
you.
Duran definitely takes his work dead serious for a reason. He said that's why he named it. Very true blue to the community. Really enjoy working with Duran. They're good folks.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm trying to think. There was something I was going to say before we let you go because we're going to hop off here too.
Mhm.
But I can't remember now. Toot. Okay. Well, thank you for coming up. We
Yeah, of
certainly
course.
appreciate the stories and
Hmm.
everything, and we'll talk to you soon.
Yes, thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Bye.
All right, bye, you guys.
Toots. I don't want to do that. See, y'all can't even see me. That's why. And I ain't got no makeup on, so I'm scary. Um, but yeah, guys. Sorry, Emily. It's only been Emily's face, but you can't see me like this. And, you know, it's fine. But that was probably scary to y'all. I just come out of nowhere and be like, toots. But yeah, cool live tonight. We just wanted to hang out. Emily, how do you feel about like when we go live? Not every time, depending on what we want to talk about, but I thought maybe why don't we just kind of section out the live sometimes and ask people to come on up?
Hell yeah, I agree. Try
Yeah.
not to sneeze.
No sneezies.
No sneezies.
But yeah, I love doing that. It's like we did the call-in show and that was cool. I like doing it through YouTube. We do it through YouTube and vertical, like if it's just me, because it brings more people to the channel. But to really facilitate this, we would have to run it through StreamYard. So, you know, that way people can choose to go on video or not. Hopefully, the next time we do this, my back won't be so painful. Like I'm dealing with a little pain right now too in my hips and stuff, and I only set up for like maybe 10 minutes. So I'm sorry, guys, that I'm not as like this present. But yeah, okay, I'll check it out. Just Rach, you sent it to the email. Oh, I sent you pics, but it's sitting in them. Oh, okay, I do that sometimes too. So guys, if y'all email me and sometimes I don't get it, sometimes I'll wake up and read my emails and fall back asleep and totally, I don't know. I'm a bad habit of checking messages and then I don't mean to. It's not, so I get it. I kind of mess up with that all the time as well. Let's see. We got everybody's wrapped up. Is that all everybody's got for us tonight? I think we've answered all the questions. Emily? Oh, we
I have
always do this. Go ahead.
I have to pee.
Yeah. I always do this at the end of every recording that y'all, because when we do this back and forth, I'll be like, Emily, do you have anything else you want to add? Because it's just a habit. Like
Yeah.
recording a video. And she'll be like, nope.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, thank you for coming, everybody. We'll do last shout outs. Brittany, just Rach. Sorry.
Alicia.
Yep. Let's see. Lights at Midnight. Thanks. No, kidding. Lena, thank you for hopping on again. Edna, what's up, girl? Let's see. I'm trying to dead serious.
I see dead people.
Yeah, I see dead people gone now, but bye. And then Wanderlust, thank you. Yeah, I think that's about it. And anybody else that's watched that just chooses to stay in the background, we love you guys. Unless you're a hater, then YouTube can't see this. I need to turn my damn camera off or get in trouble. But we love our haters too. Much love and light. Sorry. Look, this is who I am. You can love me or hate me. I don't care. But anyways, until next time, I guess I'll turn my camera back on for this. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Spirit fingers.
My good hand.